is Mr. Tiggles coming at you through those glorious interwebs. And today, I want to talk about the World of Warcraft. I have a very long experience with World of Warcraft, and like a lot of other players, I've been playing since the early days of vanilla, and never in those 15 or so odd years have I ever seen the game in a state like it is right now. I know that I probably can't cover all of the issues that the game's having currently, because this video would be hours long and I'd probably put you guys to sleep, but I'd really like to clear a couple of things off my chest. I guess I can't really say I'm quitting, because you don't ever actually quit WoW. However, to quote the mighty Bilbo Baggins himself, I feel that I need a holiday. A very long holiday. Now look, I know a lot of people have stopped playing because of the harassment issues that are currently happening within Blizzard itself, and I have 100% respect for anyone that is standing up for what they believe and leaving for that reason. However, at the risk of sounding like a complete dickhole, that's not why I'm specifically quitting. Let me go ahead and explain myself. I guess really when it comes down to it, it's not even just one thing, but like a crap ton of things, all stacked on top of each other to make like one big ass sloppy crap sandwich. I don't know about you, but I'm not really that fond of eating crap sandwiches. WoW's just not fun anymore. There's a lack of fresh content, the story's bland, and there are tons of systems, and only like half of them actually work. At the launch of Shadowlands, I was super hyped, and I made it like 4 to 5 months going really hard. I accomplished most of the things in the game that I cared to, and I pretty much ran out of content. And I did get some enjoyment out of Shadowlands. I thought that Shadowlands was an okay expansion. I thought the leveling experience was okay. Not great, but okay. I thought the dungeons were really fun. I enjoyed grinding M+, and working through Nathria with some of my friends. At first, I even thought that Torghast was okay. At first. But it wasn't long before Torghast literally made me want to tear my soul through my eyeball socket holes. I hated it so much. In fact, when 9.1 released and I knew that I was going to have to not only start doing Torghast again religiously, but I was also going to most likely have to re-roll my legendary, was a really big decision that I no longer wanted to play this game. So at that point in 9.0, I was basically out of things to do that I actually enjoyed, and I was just spending the 2 to 3 hours a day doing like my chore list, which is another reason that WoW is just no good right now. Like there's such a high amount of things that you have to do every day to make sure that your character stays relevant. I'm not into the game enough to do the treadmill. So anyways, at this point, there's 9.1 is not anywhere in sight, and there's drama ensuing with the company left and right. Things are looking terrible, and at this point, I've already decided to take a break. I did play the Burning Crusade for about a month, and got a character to max level, but it's just, the whole situation was soured with like the whole microtransaction issue and the storm out and all the things that were going on. It was just kind of soured the TBC experience. So that didn't last very long for me. I guess another reason I quit the Burning Crusade was because a lot of the friends that I wanted to come over and play with me at this point basically just aren't playing anymore. None of them really were interested. I had a couple of people that did come over, but we didn't really have enough to do the raids or anything. Anyways, that's a story for another video. After that, 9.1 came out, and this was kind of the nail in the coffin. The problem with 9.1 wasn't necessarily that the content there was terrible. Some of it was alright. I really enjoyed the Mega Dungeon, and I thought the raid was alright as well. The problem was that for the long amount of time that we had to literally wait for it, it was too short. There wasn't enough content. The only thing that I really had any interest in was the Mega Dungeon. I didn't really care for Korthia. The fact that I had to redo all the Torghast stuff was literally the reason that I decided to be done. I couldn't even stand the thought of having to go through Torghast multiple times a week. The problem is that WoW is it's boring for me right now. I don't know if that's because I've played for so long, or I'm just worn out on it, or if it's just bad, but it's not a good feeling to play anymore. I feel like when I log in, I am literally doing my chores, and I'm not enjoying it. I dread clicking the login button, and that's not what a game's all about. Like, I want to actually have like a fun experience. And for now, WoW is not giving me that kind of an experience. And yes, like a multitude of others, I'm now playing Final Fantasy XIV. However, I'm not a refugee because I've been playing for around 6 years already, towards about the beginning of Heavensward. I've always played WoW as my main game, and in the off seasons and new updates I'd play Final Fantasy XIV. However, at this point, I plan to make Final Fantasy my main MMO. And Final Fantasy isn't a perfect game either. I have my gripes about it. However, I still feel excited to play it, and that's what I think is important when you pick a new video game, is enjoyment. Even if it hasn't been my main MMO, Final Fantasy does many things very right. I'm always incredibly excited to push forward in the story because the writing in that game is top freaking notch. Final Fantasy XIV also respects your time far better than World of Warcraft. The devs themselves have actually stated they expect you to play other games during the downtime, and that's okay. Also, all hail to Yoshi P. I know that this isn't really necessarily a quote-unquote WoW channel, even if WoW is the main game that I've been playing. However, going forward, I am looking to make a good amount of Final Fantasy XIV content. Probably focus around guides for new players and lore stuff, because I'm really obsessed with the lore in this game. I may go back to the World of Warcraft someday, maybe if they pull their head out of their asses and actually make some engaging content for me. But for now, I think I'm just content to go ahead and visit Eorzia. In the end, I do honestly think that both games are actually great. WoW was a great game at one point. It's just kind of lost its way, and I hope for a better future for it. Hey guys, Editing Tiggles here. So before I published the video, they announced some changes coming for 9.1.5 down the pipeline, and I've got it up on the screen here for anyone that hasn't actually seen them yet. So the question is, does it change my mind? While I think it's a turn in the right direction, it feels kind of like an act of desperation. This honestly tells me that we got to them. This is basically a list of all the changes that the community has been asking for a pretty long while now, and they basically have just consistently ignored us the entire time. Now that their game is pretty much burning down around them, it looks like they're trying to appease us. While this isn't enough for me to come back right now, it does give me some hope that maybe they'll get their shit turned around. I honestly do actually want that to happen. I love World of Warcraft. All this drama might make whatever the next expansion is a worthwhile experience. But for now, no thanks, I'll pass. Thanks, Bliss. However, if you would like to give me an early copy of Diablo 2 Resurrected, that'd be pretty cool. I'd really like to hear what you guys think. Let me know in that comment section below. Also, while you're down there, go ahead and give that like button a smack roll. It really helps me out. Anyways, guys, I just want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.